Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to this week's Raw review. There's quite a bit to go through, but well, to be honest, I didn't like it. I wasn't a fan of it. There was only a few moments that I really enjoyed. You can see my reaction video. I've just uploaded the reaction video to the Demon King, Demon Balor, finally making his debut. That for me was probably the highlight of this week's show, and actually should have been what closed the show out. Should have been the headline, if you will. Certainly not a match that we're going to see on Sunday anyway. So yeah, that was a bit bizarre. If you get a chance, watch that reaction video, because there's a few interesting bits in there, like the fact that a fan, I believe it's a fan, gets in the ring. How is that? How is that allowed in this day and age? How can a fan do that? How can they get past security and jump into the ring? At this point, I don't know. I've not read anything on it. I don't know if there's been any developments on that point. It was clear that Seth seemed to be in shock. He went silent for a time, and he was kind of stood there with his mouth open. Michael Cole jumps in and comes out with a comment saying that he's in a trance. He's trying to cover up the situation, but then very quickly Seth gets back on track and goes, "Is that the Demon King?" I was just... If you get a chance, watch that reaction video. I'd love to know your thoughts on it, but look, we'll go through it all anyway. So we've got a few shout outs first. So El Ollie, or Lolly, I think it's El Ollie, Dr. D. Den E, Joe Fairhurst, Jonathan Escobar, Reese 106, Liam Dixon, Mo Gamer, J3008, 4vlog/gaming. That's a hell of a name, mate. At Balor Club 95, I think that's on Twitter, and Shahaz or Shah's Gaming as well. Thank you to all of you guys. I really mean it. I really appreciate the support. And to all of you that watch these weekly reviews as well. It's really appreciated. But let's go through it. So Seth actually starts the show. He does like a Shining Stars impression, standing outside in the sunshine. Thought he was going to tell me how great Puerto Rico was for a second. Instead he actually says he's hunting the Demon King, and obviously we're building up to that big moment. And he spends, a few bits throughout the show. We see him like hunting around for the Demon King. The show starts properly in the ring with Lana and Rusev. They're not happy. They said Raw's cancelled unless they get an apology, and they want Roman to come out and apologise. That brings out Mick. Then we get Steph. Finally we get Roman. And the bottom line is a match is made for the main event of Raw. Roman Reigns against Rusev. It's not for the title. It's just going to be for Lana's honour, whatever that means. It'd be cool if you won Lana. But no, it wasn't. And basically we get a match that we're going to watch on Sunday anyway. So I was really disappointed. I thought the match itself was good. It was quite long. It was given a lot of time. I just don't need to see it. Not on Monday and then on Sunday as well. The only thing I will say is that Roman won this one. I'm pretty sure, pretty confident Rusev wins on Sunday, because on Sunday it's going to be for the title. And because Roman won this one, it would make sense that Rusev wins that one. He probably wins by cheating somehow, but there you go. I don't think this is a feud that is going to finish on Sunday. A feud that definitely hasn't finished, in fact, has only just started. Cesaro against Sheamus. Now, the next match was Sami Zayn against Sheamus, and this was a decent match. I was just a bit frustrated the commentary didn't focus on it. The commentary focused on Cesaro, who was actually on the commentary team as like a guest commentator. The match itself, as I said, was okay. He interferes and costs Sheamus the match. Sheamus loses when he gets distracted and then gets hit with a haluva kick from Sami Zayn. It's announced anyway that this is going to be a best of 7 Sheamus and Cesaro first matches at SummerSlam. And they are going to struggle, to tell the truth, to keep me interested for 7 matches. They're going to need one of them to be a cell match, maybe one to be a street fight, maybe one of them to be on the moon. I don't know. You're going to have to do something, because I'm kind of done with this feud already. It's been a few weeks in the works now, and now they're saying that it's going to be a best of 7. Next up, we had a good promo actually backstage. Next up, this was KO and Jericho, and they were talking to Tom Phillips, and they called him Stephen, they called him Brian, they called him Nathaniel, they called him James. These guys are great. I could watch a good half an hour of just a Jericho Kevin Owens promo. So you knew that was going to be fun. But unfortunately, when we went back to the ring, it was the Dudley Boys against New Day. Still no Big E, and I think they're really missing him. Instead, we got a squash match that was a bit flat. We got Gallows and Anderson doing another one of their Dr. Gallows, Dr. Anderson skits, which wasn't fresh. It was the same stuff as the week before, so that fell flat. And then the New Day kind of promo after the match fell flat as well. This whole thing for me was just boring. I was bored. There was nothing new, nothing exciting. There's no real energy to it either. It felt tired. They really missed Big E. So, yeah, that was a shame. Next up, Nia Jax against Rachel Levy. Rachel Levy looked like she'd just come out of a Comic-Con. She had blue hair. She reminded me a bit of Blue Pants, actually, from NXT that we saw last year, maybe the start of this year. Yeah, Nia Jax picks up the win, and it was a squash match, and it was everything we thought it was going to be. To tell the truth, there was very little up till this point that impressed me. And up to this point, we're about an hour into the show. The next bit I liked, right? This might be controversial. A lot of you might not have enjoyed it. I did. Brock Lesnar comes out with Paul Heyman talking about his match against Randy Orton. Out comes Heath Slater. And Heath says that if he can beat Lesnar, they've told him he can have a Raw contract. So he's like, I don't want to do it. Can I please just have a match with Brock? And I've got to feed my 2 kids and the other kids that are somewhere else as well. And he won't stop. He's like, he wants to get in there, and he does. He has to get in and interrupt. And Lesnar comes over and goes, come on, look, fine, come in, yeah? I've got kids as well. So I can appreciate, your situation. But I don't give a
Suplex City
about your kids. And it's like, whoa, it was brilliant, And I've got to be honest, at that point, I was like, just destroy him, Heath. Go on, Heath. Come on, Heath. I was really on board with Heath Slater because he's dropped that stupid messing around goofiness. Now, he just looks like a shattered guy that just desperately wants a contract, desperately wants to be on a show, desperately feels like he deserves a chance. And now they're just making him jump through hoops where it's like, yeah, go on, go out there and beat up Brock Lesnar, we'll give you a contract. He's an underdog, and he comes across like an underdog, and he has totally won me over. I am totally on board with, come on, Heath. I wanted to see him go toe-to-toe with Lesnar, and he kind of did, but Lesnar did what Lesnar does, and that's hurt people, and took him to Suplex City, hit an F5, and Heath was done. For the first time ever, I can honestly say I am on board with watching a Heath Slater match. I would be absolutely fine. Do you know what? This is going to sound crazy. I would be absolutely fine if Heath Slater got interrupted in the Randy Orton Brock Lesnar match, because, and I'll tell you why, there's no way Randy Orton wins. There's no way. They haven't built up Brock Lesnar for 2-3 years to feed him to Randy Orton. I don't think it'll be a squash, but I don't think it'll be far off. It could be very similar to what they did to Cena at SummerSlam the other year. Was it 2014 when Lesnar won the titles? Why not have a repeat of that? Have Orton get destroyed and then have Heath come out afterwards. Because I'm starting to warm to Heath. As long as he's not goofy, I don't want 3-man band or social outcast Heath Slater. I want down on his luck, down in the dumps, fighting and clawing his way just to get a contract. That's the Heath Slater I want to see. There is a place on the show for him. There really is. I'm on board. I'm on board. You might. I'm sure you disagree, but well. So yeah, the next we get Enzo Big Cass cutting a promo. Again, it was a bit flat for me. They was talking about having a SummerSlam barbecue, and they were shouting out things like sausages. Oh. It led to KO against Big Cass. All of this is just building up that SummerSlam match, which doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who wins. It's not for any titles. You're not gonna, become a #1 contender. It just doesn't matter, and that's a real shame. You've got 4 great competitors that, granted, are on the card and deserve to be on the card, but it doesn't matter. Next up, we had Primetime Players reunited. I honestly fell for it. I fell for it. I was cursing WWE, going, you've spent 2-3 weeks telling me these guys hate each other, and now, without even advertising it, you're just going to put them back as the Primetime Players. I honestly thought they'd given up on Darren Young already, and they were now going to use Bob Backlund to try and help make the Primetime Players great again. So I was not impressed. They were up against the Shining Stars. There's a misunderstanding. Thank God Titus turns on Darren Young, and all is right with the world again. I love Bob Backlund. If you've not seen any of these reviews before, just know I am a big Bob Backlund fan. I love the classics. I love the legends. He's one of the biggest legends. Whatever he is saying, Darren Young should listen to. And I believe that they can do something with Darren Young. Don't throw it away and just give up on it and put him back in the Primetime Players. They had a great chance when Darren Young went up against The Miz at Battleground for the Intercontinental Championship. But they didn't pull the trigger on that, and now they've put him in a feud against Titus. So I'm on board with seeing where this goes. I want to see Darren Young get the better of Titus. I want to see Darren Young beat Rusev for the US title, and I hope that's where we're heading. Next up, Jinder Mahal against Neville. This was okay. Another crane kick tease from Neville. I want to see him hit that. I want to see him hit the crane kick. I hope that's what he's building it up for, because if he's just going to keep doing that and not deliver a crane kick, I'm just going to get frustrated. Red Arrow win for Neville. Few nice spots. And it was what it was. It was actually all right to see Jinder Mahal. I think Jinder Mahal's got a good entrance. He brings something, I would say, different. He brings something very similar to Rusev in that kind of heel foreigner role. But he's all right. He's all right. Next, we get that Seth in the ring. Holy shit chance. This is awesome chance for when Balor comes out. As I said, I don't know what happened with that fan. I need to go and have a look and see what people are saying. Balor looked immense. He had all this writing down the side. It had like Demon King Balor. I think it had some of the mythology he'd been talking about all written down his side. And then he had this fantastic eye drawn on his back. And I think it's like doesn't he say when the eye of Balor opens, the world ends? And I think that's all where it comes from. I don't know much about mythology, I'll be perfectly honest. But yeah, this was great. And then they go blow for blow in the ring. There's kicks and strikes, and it ends. It's really good. It's really good. It ends with Seth kind of getting thrown out of the ring. Balor standing tall. The music is epic. It was great. That fan really annoyed me. Really annoyed me because they pulled it back and it didn't ruin it in the end. But it could have. It could have. Could you imagine if that fan had got in the ring the moment that Demon Balor is first seen on Raw? I hope they edit that out, and I hope that you don't see that fan or that moment in the future, because what an idiot. Gallows and Anderson next against the Golden Truth. I don't even know if the match finished. New Day came out. I think Gallows and Anderson win, but New Day came out, and it's just flat again. Alicia Fox against Charlotte. You know, Sasha comes down to the ring. Charlotte wins. I didn't know that Alicia Fox was like a 10-year veteran. But yeah, Charlotte wins. Sasha comes down. She gets ambushed because there was a backstage promo where it looked like Charlotte and Dana were going their separate ways. But Dana comes out, blindsides Sasha. She ends up getting put in the figure 4. This all says to me that Sasha wins at SummerSlam. So Charlotte sucks chants were ringing around at the end of this. And then, yeah, Roman and Rusev have that match. You know, Roman stands tall. They were fighting backstage as well. And, yeah, it's good. I mean, like, this feud is good. And I'm interested in seeing the match at SummerSlam. I just wish I hadn't have seen it like as the main event of this week's show. Other things that were announced: Jon Stewart is going to be at SummerSlam, which I don't want to sound mean. Does anyone care? He doesn't host the Daily Show anymore, and I don't even know what he does. Goldberg, big rumours that Goldberg is going to be at SummerSlam. I don't know how he interferes or, you know, what happens with him, but I would be more interested in seeing Goldberg now than I was before, because after 2 weeks of very flat Raws, I'd be alright with seeing, you know, Goldberg. That would be more interesting to me than Gallows and Anderson versus Golden Truth. Gallows and Anderson just aren't doing it. They're just not doing it. WWE are not booking the club well. They're not even the club anymore, are they? Because they broke them up. The other thing as well, right, is that apparently WWE had plans for the Muppets to be at SummerSlam. What's that about? What's that about? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they will be now, but that was just a big rumour that I saw going around the past couple of days. So, hey ho, there we go. I'm sorry, but this was not a good Raw for me. There was some good stuff. I enjoyed the Heath bit. I enjoyed Balor. And I think they've built a few feuds nicely. I just think that it's going to be quite obvious. I think Sasha's going to win. I think Rusev's going to win. I think New Day are going to retain. And I can't think of the other feuds. I don't even care about Cesaro against Sheamus, best of 7. That's just going to be painful. So yeah, there we go. Love to know your thoughts. I'm really excited for SummerSlam. Don't get me wrong. I worry it's going to be predictable. But I'd love to know your thoughts. Drop it in the comments below, or jump over to Twitter and Facebook at Wrestling Days UK. If you get a chance, watch that reaction video. I'd love to know your thoughts on that moment as well. And give the video a like if you liked it. Please subscribe if you haven't. And that's it. Hopefully, see you again next time. Certainly hope I see you for the SmackDown review and for SummerSlam, which is this weekend. NXT TakeOver as well. CWC, you know, going as strong as ever with certainly my match of the year so far on last week's show. Man, it's all happening, isn't it? There's loads going on. So, cool. Thanks a lot for watching anyway. Hopefully, see you again next time. Bye for now.